Hello, so this is the Honda NC750X quick review. I'm just using this bike for a couple of weeks and I thought I'd give you my first impressions. So, a quick look around the bike. It's got quite a nice high riding position, high handlebars, very comfortable. Mirrors are good, very good on fuel, like excellent on fuel. The best bike I've ever ridden fuel wise, like MPG. It's crazy. You've got two buttons, you've got one here and one here, and then the left one just toggles through the trip, like A and B, and miles per gallon and all that. I've just filled up fuel, and then if you want to reset the trip, you use the right button, press and hold it, and that will reset it. I'll do it now. There you go, back to zero. Alright, take the key out. Also, one other thing on the bike, on most bikes, or 99% of bikes, all the bikes I've ever had, which is over 30, about here is a petrol filler cap, but on this bike, key in to the right, it's actually a big storage compartment. Like, I'm not sure if you can get a helmet in there, maybe like an open sort of face helmet probably. I don't know about full face helmet. Got a toolkit just there, so that's probably got a few essentials in to keep you going. But it's very handy having this cubby hole here, storage compartment, because usually on all the bikes I get, I always buy a tank bag just to put my cover in. Otherwise you've got to put the cover in your wet rucksack or something, or try and tie it onto the back, sort of around here somewhere. And then if you turn the key, see if I can see that, yep, to the left, donk, and then that's where you put the petrol in, obviously just here. And an arm automatically comes up here when you lift the seat, just to hold it up, and then basically use your thumb, pull it towards you with your fingers, and it will release. So it's just like a little mechanism just here. Oh, try again. There you go. And then click, and that locks it. So yeah, that's a nice little touch, I suppose. It's got a good riding position. The gearbox wise, 6-speed gearbox. When I go through the gears from 1 to 5th, they're sort of progressive. I wouldn't say that exciting, but progressive. And then when you go into 6th gear, it feels like it's geared very high for like good fuel consumption. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like pulls like sort of fairly adequately, and then you go into 6 and it's like you've missed a gear. It's like going from, say, 3rd straight into 5th. That's what I find, unless you're sort of like really, really going sort of quite quickly, and then you sort of get away with it. But yeah, 6th gear is very tall, which is obviously good for miles per gallon. Yeah. Also the brakes, it's got a single disc on the right hand side here, a wavy disc. They do the job, but personally I would prefer twin discs, because I just feel that obviously it needs to be slightly better in the braking department. It's only my personal opinion, but that, bearing in mind I've been riding the GSX 1000 for the last couple of months. Suspension does the job, comfort wise, very comfortable bike. And I'll definitely recommend it if you want a comfortable commuter. So yeah, good bike, comfortable, well built. And you can get other models. I think they're called DCT or DTS, sometimes it's got something like that, and it hasn't got a clutch. They're like automatic, so they're on this side. They'll have, I think it's like drive and then S, so you can got sport modes on the newer models. So like I think like power modes like A, B, C sort of thing. But this one's just a usual style manual 6-speed. Overall, yeah, a very comfortable bike, and I'd recommend it. Okay guys, any questions, just ask. To fill the tank up, we're in the UK here, from totally empty, like it was flashing on one bar, and I didn't know if I was going to actually run out and stop or not, like out of fuel, but I filled it up from dry and it was £12, so £12 and you get about 146 miles, and that's like riding through the city and a bit of dual carriageway. Also, one thing to mention, seeing that this is an everyday practical good commuter bike, is it's got a side stand here but no center stand. So if you're trying to lubricate and oil the chain, it would be a lot easier if you just had a center stand. Maybe they've left it out because, I don't know, it saves on weight and price, but yeah, I would like to have a center stand for this sort of bike. And also I cover my bikes up at night, and it's very handy having the guard here for the manifolds, because otherwise the cover, when you wrap the cover over the bike and tie it at the bottom, it burns through the cover. So I'd recommend yeah, having this little panel here, like a belly pan, just to cover them hot pipes. And also an aftermarket exhaust is always a lot cooler when you finish your journey than the standard stainless steel exhaust. So you do, like I say, a 20-30 mile trip or commute, and this will be roasting hot. You put your cover on and it'll burn your cover, so you've got to replace your covers like fairly frequently, every couple of, every month or so probably. Was aftermarket ones, I had an SP engineering bike on my Bandit GSF 1250, and that's a carbon fibre, and when I finished my journey it was you could touch it by your hand because it wasn't that hot at all, so it didn't burn your cover. So two things, an aftermarket exhaust will be cooler, so when you put your cover straight on your bike, because I can't wait around until it cools down because of where I park it, and also a centre stand, so you can oil chain easy. So for instance, now I can only get to this part of the chain, and then I've got to roll the bike and then try and get to it again and do it from the back, and it's just a lot more awkward than it needs to be. Centre stand, you can just spin the wheel, lube the chain, and put a bit of cardboard or something just behind the chain and the tyre to keep the lubrication off the tyre, for obvious reasons. I just want to quickly talk about tyres. These are Dunlop Trail Max D609, and I suppose they're for, like, you know, intermediate tyre for maybe even a little bit of off-roading, maybe, as well as the road. But I find I'm only using the bike on the road, and these tyres are okay in the dry. In the wet, they're not great, to be honest. Sort of first and second gear, you know, if you're getting off a bit progressively, considering like that bike doesn't make that much power, I found it sort of spinning up a little bit in first and second. The bike was still stable, but if it was my personal bike, I'd probably change them for something like a Michelin road tyre, because I found on all the bikes I've had, Michelin seemed to be a really good tyre for like everyday use, like rain and dry.
Alone, waiting for the light to go. Don't you feel